Welcome. My name is George Pearson and I run the How To Gurus channel here on YouTube. Most of the videos in my channel are short demonstrations of the different tools and techniques you'll find in various software programs. Right now I have several hundred of these quick videos available on YouTube. This video though is different. This is part of a new series of longer demonstrations that I'm doing to show you how to complete complex projects from start to finish using a variety of techniques and tools. All of the images I use in these projects are in the public domain, and I've included a link to the pictures in the video description in case you want to work along using the same images. Okay, let's move on to the project. In this Photoshop effect, we're going to be doing a black and white image with a splash of color in it. We'll be using these poinsettias in here as our splash of color. Fairly straightforward effect this time, not that difficult to do. We'll be taking a color picture and then coming in and making a selection around our colored object, copying that to its own layer, and then converting the rest of the picture into black and white, leaving that color piece sitting on top. There are other ways of doing this. This is an easy way. If you have a black and white to begin with, you'd have to do a careful selection around the area and then add color to that using the hue, saturation, and colorize option, which will also work. But in this case, we're starting off with a full color image, and I'll show you that other version second. So, as I always like to do, I like to take this and make a copy. There we go. There's my copy. Hide the background. Let's now make our selection. You can use any selection technique you want to for this. Whatever you feel like doing is fine. So I personally like to use the polygonal lasso tool, so I'll just use that one. And I'll just make a quick selection around here. Now, if I was doing this for an actual job, I would take more time on doing this selection. I'll do this relatively quickly here for this video. And since it'll take me a few minutes to do a good job, so I'm going to just do part of this and then I'll pause the video and finish the selection off camera. So you don't have to sit there just watching me take several minutes doing a selection. But this is the idea here. I'll just come around and I'll do a selection of the area that I want to use. And then when I'm happy with my selection, we can then move on to the next stage of this project. And again, any tool you like to use, any technique you like to use for making your selection is fine. And just begin to make your selection. I actually clicked too fast down there and it doubled up and closed that off. So this is a good time for me now to just pause this, and then I'll go ahead and finish off my selection. And I'll bring it back up once I have the all the red areas selected. And there we go. There's the selection. Now normally if I take the time to make a selection like this, I always save my selection just in case. Let's call this one flower. I usually don't have to go back and do anything with that, but it's nice to have that saved in case of any kind of issues. So I have my selection made. Let's now copy this to a new layer. So layer new via copy. There's our flowers. We can now come back to this layer and then convert this to black and white. And let's just fit on screen and go up to image, adjustments, and use our black and white controls. There's the look already. The nice thing about these controls is you can come in and you can get just the right look in here. So I could try different filters. There's a blue filter. There's a darker effect, a green filter, high contrast. You can choose one of these as a starting place and then adjust from there if you want to. I think that darker looks pretty good. In this case, I'll just leave it at that. So there we go. That is that color splash effect. As you can see, it's pretty easy. It's just copying the color area, saving that, protecting that, and then converting everything else to black and white. Let's say now that what you had was a black and white image to work from, and you wanted to do the same effect, but you only have a black and white image. We can do that as well. Now I've saved, of course, that selection, so let's go up here and let's reselect. load selection, and I want that flower selection. There we go. I'm going to copy this to a new layer. Layer new via copy. There it is. We now can colorize that layer. This isn't as good as using the original because there are different varying colors in here. But this does work if you don't happen to have those varying colors or a color photograph. So we have our selection made. It's on its own layer. Let's now go up here to Image, Adjustments, Hue, Saturation, and Colorize right there. And that adds color onto that area. We can then bring our saturation levels up and adjust our hue and adjust the lightness until we get just the effect that we want. Just like that. So that's the second way of coming in and creating that colorized look. So there's the first one. Notice we have some different colors in here and some yellow spots and things, which are kind of nice. Here's the second way. I could make this look closer to that if I came in and adjusted my lighting a little bit. Let's just come back up here. Adjustments. Let's do brightness, contrast. Bring the brightness up just a touch. And a little more contrast. That's probably getting pretty close. I could tweak it more and get even closer. But there you go. Two different ways of getting the color splash effect. The first way is if you have a full color picture, make your selection around your object, copy that selection to a new layer, which is right there, and then convert your background to black and white, and there is your color splash. Other way is if you have a black and white image to begin with, again, make your selection and using the hue saturation controls, colorize that selection and then adjust your colors. So there it is, pretty straightforward, the color splash effect. Thank you for watching this special Photoshop photography project video. Don't forget to subscribe so that you will get first notice of new project videos in the future. Just click on this link right here where it says subscribe here. You can get all 12 project videos in this series along with 26 special videos demonstrating the tools and techniques that I used in these projects by clicking on this link right down here. And then thank you again for watching this training video.